These easy, do-it-yourself Button Snowman Craft Ideas for kids turn 3 buttons into a cute Christmas ornament, pin, or card. It's a simple craft that kids will love. Plus, it works perfectly for a classroom, party, or other group. I was given this little button snowman many years ago by a friend, and I used to wear it as a pin, and I've kept it so that I could use it as a pattern to make more of these little button snowmen. I have found this wonderful pack of buttons. This happened to be at Hobby Lobby. So the package has all of these different sizes of buttons. So I thought these 3 could work really well for an ornament, because this could also be an ornament, or this could be a pin, or just 2 buttons for a pin like mine had. Let's start by making an ornament. I'm going to use the 3 largest buttons, and I'm going to make the 2 buttons for the eyes go side to side, and these 2 buttons will go up and down, and well, I can't quite control the bottom ones, but I think I'm going to put them diagonal just for fun. We're going to glue them to a backing of felt so that they can stay together. You can use tacky glue, but then you're going to need to let it dry for a while. So I'm going to choose to use my hot glue gun. Now the hot glue comes up through these little buttonholes, so you need to be careful. And this might be a better option for younger kids. All right, so we're going to put some hot glue on the back of our big button first. And put it on the bottom, and then our middle-sized button with the holes going up and down, and then the 3rd button with the eyes going side to side. See, that hot glue's coming through that hole, as I mentioned before. Okay, so that cools off very quickly, and then we're going to cut around the outside of this. It's okay if you can see a little bit of that black felt, but that will hold the whole ornament in place. And then I'm going to make a little hat, like an upside down T shape, fat part for the middle of the hat. So I'm going to cut a little bit of the T and then down, add a little glue to the top of his head, and add that hat in there. So I'm going to make the scarf out of this fabric, and I've cut a strip that's about a 1/2 inch long in length, and I'm going to tie it around his neck. You could use ribbon if you'd like, or a small piece of red fleece or something like that. I kind of liked the blue color. I'm going to try to tie it so that the brighter blue part shows the most. And then I'm going to take these ends and come down, and I'm going to glue them in place to the side slightly, like that. And then trim the end, maybe in a little diagonal. Now he has his hat and his scarf. I went outside and plucked a couple little branches off of my tree, and I'm going to put these on for arms, but I do need to warn you that they break off fairly easily when you store them year to year. Okay, so this is cooled off, and I'm going to turn it over, and he's a little floppy in the center. I could put a piece of cardboard in the back if I wanted to, but when it hangs, it's going to be just fine. But there he has his arms. And lastly, I'm going to put on a little candy cane that I have here, and that finishes up my snowman, except I need to put a ribbon on. So I use a piece of ribbon that's about 8 inches long, 8 or 9 inches long, so I can hang him up and cut it so that it goes into a loop. And that's cooled off, so let's put him over, and we're going to glue this to the back of his head. And I'm going to put those 2 pieces of ribbon side by side down into that glue. Sometimes I even put a little bit of glue over it as well, just to give it some extra holding power. There we go, let's just let that cool off. And here's our little snowman ornament. So cute! Next, let's make our little button snowman pin. So for the pin, we're just going to use 2 buttons, and the technique is just the same. We're going to glue these onto felt and cut them out. It's okay if you see a little bit of the felt. And then I'm going to make a little hat like I did the last one, like an upside down T shape, the fat part for the middle of the hat. So I'm going to cut a little bit of the T and then down. It's a little wonky, and I kind of like it. Okay, I'm going to glue that to his head. It's a little bit tall. You can see this. I'm going to add a little glue to the top of his head and add that hat in there. I'm going to tie a scarf around his neck, but it needs to be even a little thinner for a small snowman like this. Now I'm going to put a little glue right down here to secure the scarf down. And I want to make the scarf so that the blue is what's showing. After that's cooled off, we'll trim the ends of the scarf pieces. I like to make them kind of diagonal. And then we're going to add the pin to the back. I have these little craft pins that have an adhesive back on them, but I don't think that's going to be enough. So I took the foamy sticky part off, and I'm just going to hot glue this to the back of the pin. And I'm going to put the closure to the top. It's too wide to put on sideways, so I'm going to put it on up and down, and then let that cool. You can open and shut the pin at the top here, and there's our cute little snowman. This makes a wonderful gift. Maybe that would be a good thing to slip into Mom's stocking, or give her ahead of time so she can wear it before Christmas. But a snowman can be worn all winter. Lastly, we're going to make a little snowman card. So we're going to glue the buttons directly onto the card. And I'm going to make the snowman these middle sizes here. You could make them smaller or larger. And then I'm going to make a little small snowman and add his hat and everything just like we did on the others. So let's glue the buttons directly to the card. The holes in this button are going to go up and down because they're going to be like the buttons on the snowman. And that button will go up and down too with the holes. But this one I'm going to put side to side to look like his eyes. There we go, got his eyes. He's cocking his head just a little bit. I'm going to use a white pencil to make kind of a snowdrift here. So my small snowman is going to be on top of the hill up here. And I'm going to have him holding a little sign that I'm going to put on the card. I think I'm going to use some little stick arms on this guy, and maybe I'll use these little short parts on the smaller guy. And instead of wrapping the scarf around his neck, I'm just going to glue some little pieces on to the front of him. So I'm just going to cut a couple scarf pieces that kind of are in a triangle shape like this, so it will look like they're dangling down, but I won't actually glue them around his neck. So that'll give the look of a scarf without it tying. Okay, so I'll cut one hat for him, and they're going to be pretty small. So just get the main idea of a hat. Remember we said it's like a big fat upside down T. It'll be very small for the other one. I think that'll work. It's a little bit big. Kind of trim it down, and if you make a mistake, that's okay. Just cut another one. Glue on his hat, and glue on the hat of our little guy. They are so cute. I'm going to give this a look of snow by using a white pencil. This guy's going to be holding a candy cane, and this little guy is going to be holding a candy cane up high. Put some hot glue on our candy cane here. And then I'm going to add just a little white sign that's hooked to this candy cane. I'm going to cut a little piece of paper to make a sign where I can say Merry Christmas, and it's going to be coming off of that candy cane. Now you could write a message on here if you want to, like Noel or Happy Holidays or Merry Christmas, whatever you want. And glue my paper on like it's flapping in the wind, a flag. Merry Christmas. Might even draw a few little snowflakes on here, like they're coming down. And there we finished our Button Snowman card. Didn't you love making these easy do-it-yourself Button Snowman craft ideas? For more great Christmas ideas, come on over to welcometonanas.com and join the fun.